So that's going to be right here. And we've got the RV comfort zone. Basically, your AC and heat pump are just on the other side of these air filters, right? The appliance themselves on the roof and then directly ducted here. The two zones basically selects which AC unit you're running or heat pump, not necessarily bedroom versus the galley. Think of it more of in terms of the units themselves.
This unit, that unit.
Correct. And the reason for that is because the whole ducting system, that's these vents here, are all connected to one, it's all connected to one thing. So one AC unit, one heat pump is dumping air into all of it. The second one's just giving you more power to it.
I see.
Right? So it's just kind of an oomph factor. You select which zone you want to run. Basically, the zone button here, selecting between 1 and 2. And then you're going to select which zone. We'll say zone 2, which is going to be the rear, kind of in the galley over there. Which system you want to run, either heat or cool. Or actually, let's see. You go to heat here, and then you can go to mode. Oh, let's see.
It was going from heat to cool. Cool.
Cool. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's what it was. And there it is. All right, so it's just heat is there, off is there, and then cool is there. So that's what you're paying attention to there. That little.
Mm-hmm.
This is completely different. This is a new 23 thing that they've done. Completely different from every other Airstream that exists. Oh, let's see. Let's go back to cool. And then what we'll do is go to, there's our AC kick in at 70. And we're trying to get to 55 degrees. Let's kick this up to 68. So that is running zone 2 AC unit, which is over there. But it's kicking air out, and you can actually feel air pulling, or coming out of the vent there.
Okay.
You have a fan speed here, which when you hit mode will kind of cycle through the fan speeds. You do an auto, and it will just kind of figure out what exactly it needs to be. You've also got a fan mode under cool, which will allow you to just move air rather than cool it.
Okay.
And you basically, the mode button just cycles through all your options. So you see I would just switch to fan here. I'm still hitting mode. Off, cool, high, low, auto, and then it switches to fan, cycles through all of it, and then it turns to off. And then back to cool, and then it just kind of is a constant flow of options, if you think about it that way. So that's your AC and how you set it. And then if you want both running, you simply go over to zone 1 here, and then set the same parameters. Under cool, auto, and then your temperature. And then the second one kicks in, you can hear how that kind of gave us a little bit more oomph to the air. Right? So that's kind of, you're dealing with the two of them, right? So now let's say we want to deal with heat. I'm going to select mode to off. Which is maybe, select over there, hit it 2 times, cycle back through to off on zone 1. On zone 2. Then we're going to switch over to system, which is going to be heat. And then your electric heat is on zone 2. Electric heat is also on zone 1. You can select the mode here to either off or on. I'm going to put zone 1 off. Switch over to 2, and then I'm going to show you, this is where we get to the furnace right there, the gas. So the furnace itself...
Only on zone 2?
Only on zone 2,
okay.
Under heat. So you notice your electrical system's just turned off, and now our furnace is kicking on. And that's how we get to the furnace.
So many questions.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know.
So does it prevent you from putting zone 1 cool and zone 2 heat on at the same time?
You can totally do that.
But there's no reason to do it, right? That's,
no reason
that's a
whatsoever.
user malfunction.
Yeah.
So...
Well, actually, so what's kind of interesting, that's actually a really good point. What the system does not do is automatically switch between air conditioning and heat. in this state, we swing like 30 to 40 degrees in a day. So it'll start in the like 40s in the morning and get to the 70s at night.
So I could use zone 1 for air, zone 2 for heat.
absolutely
and with
could.
the thermostat, it would automatically kick on and off. Okay.
Totally. Yeah, and it will kind of do what it needs to do. So it'll kick the heat on, right? It's tracking the temperature for how warm
Sure.
it is, right? And it'll kick in one system for one scenario and the other system for the other.
Okay.
That's kind of just clicked for me. I've been wrestling with that kind of
Maybe
setup.
that's okay.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
So let's say we're in the middle of summer, and we're only going to be using air conditioning for long stretches. Is it recommended to kind of alternate between zone 1 and zone 2 to give both you like on different days, odd number, even
Not a bad
number
idea.
days to keep them both in use?
Kind of longevity thing, right? Yeah. No, I like
and
that
maybe
idea.
the same thing in the winter when it's not too
Going
cold.
to the heat.
But
yeah.
but you said that the furnace is only available on zone 2, right?
Right.
If I'm so,
I'm gonna turn that off before. we
is
kill
the
ourselves.
electric also available on zone 2?
You only can choose one on zone 2, one of the systems.
Sure.
You can only have one going. So
But-
it's either gas or electric
On zone 2.
on zone 2.
But on zone 1, I can only have electric.
Correct.
So if it's kind of cool, I could use just one zone with electric. If it's a little cooler, I could use zone 1 and 2, both electric. And if it's a lot cooler, I use zone 1 electric and zone 2 furnace. Is that
So, well, technically there's limitations to the heat pump. It does not work if it's 45 degrees or colder.
it just won't work at all?
It just won't work at all. Yeah, so you kind of are relegated just to the furnace. What could help,
What was the temperature you said?
about 45 outside is where it stops
Okay.
to be effective.
Okay.
What you could do is get a small like heater and plug it into the 110 here,
A space heater?
a little space heater, yeah, and that would actually help supplement the furnace.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and honestly, in an Airstream, those things go a long way. It doesn't
I'm
take
sure.
a lot to
Yeah.
heat this place up.
This is a small place. Okay.
Yeah, well, and it's well insulated too with all the stuff that's going on.
Well, and that's honestly that's going to be a big deal for us if I don't want to have to deal with, like, if we don't get the big propane tank, external tank, then a space heater, we're hooked up to
Saves you
shore
propane.
power. That's going to
Yeah.
That's going to do a good
Yeah,
job.
yeah. My wife and I, we have gas fireplaces at our place, and we actually started using just space heaters to conserve. Propane got crazy expensive. We're paying like almost $1,000 a month just on propane because we have multiple people living with us. So heat got expensive for us this last winter, and it just, it was ridiculous. So we kind of are trying to get away from propane as much as possible. Nonetheless, yeah.
Does so stupid question.
No, you're fine. I just hope I'm answering them well.
If we don't have shore power, how much of this runs off the battery?
Just the furnace, no AC. You're just getting the furnace off of
Okay.
batteries.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all 110 volt.
Now, what's nice is you have the vent in the back with that cover that you elected, right? That white cover on top and that vent in the back.
Yep.
We didn't cover that yet, but that basically becomes a ventilation for airflow to cool you down. If you lose power, if it's hot out,
Yeah.
you can
right.
ventilate through that. Yeah. I'll show you how that works here in just a minute.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. How we doing?
Good.
We're covering a lot of stuff.
Good.
We're doing fine on time.
Okay.
We probably have another 10 minutes of things to cover, and then we'll look